So guys, we're going to go through an alternative movement with this plate loader pull down machine, because for some people they'll find this position with the handles just something a little bit too much for if you've had previous shoulder injuries or anything like that. You might want a more forgiving position, and this is actually common amongst most machines that you'll use. Because the machines are fixed, the setup is absolutely crucial to not only get right, but to make sure that it's a movement that your body is good with, is comfortable with, and that you can both stabilize with the machine and also make sure that you're not putting unnecessary stress onto the joint. So these videos are going to try and help that. But we're going to go into just some typical longer D handles from the cable machine, and we're actually going to attach them onto this bar. So all you do is just obviously nice and secure loop through. Good. And what these are going to do is give you that extra bit of freedom for your movement, and personal preference maybe, but I certainly feel a very good, it gives a lot of options to really target them lats and really get into that back in some ways that wouldn't be possible if we didn't have the freedom of grip. So again, is it better or worse? Not necessarily, it's just a case of it's a different variation that we can use on this machine. Set up the exact same as what we spoke about. So again, make sure that the seat's adjusted so that you are fairly well supported in here and that you can brace and pretty much hold everything. Now the benefit of this is that for a purely lat dominant type exercise, probably want the arms coming down and staying slightly forward as well as you come down. Again, with this one, rather than thinking about your upper arm down, you can actually think more towards driving your elbows down. And we'll go for a more neutral grip with this. Again, start position's the exact same. We don't want to be sort of sat up here if we don't have that range. So from there, brace, stabs nice and tight, solid position. And what this allows us to do is just think, okay, elbows, squeeze down. And again, this is my end range. Any further, I'm doing some other movement that's not what I'm trying to do to target these lats. You can reach slightly. Go again, squeeze down. Again, thinking, braced everywhere, and just leading rather than leading by leaning into the movement, which I see a lot of people do. It's going to be nice and solid. Squeeze down nice and low. Reach. Elbows, lead in the movement, squeeze down, and again reach. If you're not thinking about the elbows coming down and upper arm coming down to lead the movement and bracing everywhere, there's a hell of a lot that can take pressure off and take work, I won't say pressure, I'll say work off the target muscles. So for example, more of a bicep dominant movement where people are just thinking about the weights coming in and upper back, and there's very little lat activation going on there. As well, again, if we're using this momentum, especially on a machine like this one, where there's only really the tension, you know, it drops off as we come down because of the shape of the machine. That's a good thing if you're targeting your lats, but it means that if you're not doing this movement properly, it's going to really sort of be a negative. You're going to really struggle to build any muscle, any strength, and get any real development from this machine. Guys, again, hope this video helps.